Our constitutional right to free speech is in jeopardy. Not in like a, I want to say fascist stuff on Twitter kind of way, but in a real way. The Kids Online Safety Act, or KOSA, was introduced by Marsha Blackburn and Richard Blumenthal. He was the senator who famously said,
"Will you commit to ending Finsta?"
"Do you commit to ending Finsta?"
Senator, again, let me explain. We don't actually do Finsta.
So this guy knows a lot about how social media works. I can't imagine a better senator for the job.
Finsta is one of your products or services. We're not talking here about Google or Apple. It's Facebook, correct?
Finsta is slang for a type of account.
In case you thought the TikTok ban effort is gone, it's not. This bill describes the exact functionality of the TikTok app and bans the features that make it what it is. The following design features are limited for minors: infinite scrolling or autoplay. Let's just stop right there. That's literally the functionality of TikTok. So it's not a TikTok ban, but the shoe really fits, kind of like how the Senate immigration bill gives billions of dollars to Israel. It's not an Israel aid bill, but it does give $10 billion of unrestricted American dollars for Netanyahu's weapons. It's not a TikTok ban bill, but it would ban TikTok. When I was a kid, we didn't have TikTok. We would hoard sugar packets from coffee shops and turn the ceiling fan on high speed and throw the packets up so the blades would crack them and it would rain sugar on us. So thank God, instead of consuming useful information and rich entertainment, kids will go back to doing dumb shit that makes messes. Thank you, Congress. The bill also bans the functionality of rewards for time spent on the platform, notifications. You're too young to be getting notifications. Text from mom notification doesn't matter. Maybe you can have notifications when you're older. These next features are personalized recommendation systems, but they're personal for me. No more targeted ads. Instead of Roblox, now kids are gonna want Ozempic. At this point, I want my ads to be targeted, not to protect me from harm's way, but just when I get an ad that isn't at all relevant to my life, I'm like, they don't get me. Nobody gets me. It makes me feel very sad and misunderstood. The bill also blocks in-game purchases. And speaking of those, right now I'm getting a lot of ads for games on the phone, where the ad is just a screen recording of someone playing a relatively simple game, but doing it really bad. And they make me want to download the game just to play it right. For example, it's solitaire and they keep putting red cards on red cards and black cards on black cards, or there's a bear and he's running on a path with an army and he has two options. One, 10 soldiers die. Or another option, his army's multiplied by 10. And then he chooses to kill 10 soldiers, and as much as I thought this was a tangent, this is actually exactly how I feel about watching legislation come out of Congress and how our elected officials choose to deal with the biggest problems of our days. The purpose of the KOSA bill is to, quote, prevent minors from coming into harm's way online. Which sounds good. Harm is bad and we love kids. But preventing their harm is difficult. A lot of parents don't even know what could be harmful for them. And the problem is everyone has a different idea of what harm is, so maybe parents should have the best discernment over when and how their kids use technology. But this bill, instead, allows for state attorneys general to interpret what harm means. They are in charge of enforcing this bill. Based on attorneys general actions in the past, people are concerned about potential impacts. The ACLU and the Electronic Frontier Foundation have warned that this bill will be used to block youth from accessing LGBTQ content online. Content with topics or themes that could be depressing will be hidden. So that means no current events, no news. Maybe our members of Congress should have passed down a country where daily life was less depressing. Kids can also, by the way, just go outside and observe the same depressing reality. And now, to get news, we're going to have a bunch of 15-year-old kids in public parks smoking cigars and reading the New York Times thanks to this bill. The difficult part about this provision is it means anyone seeking help about anxiety, depression, suicide, and eating disorders they're not going to be able to find it. That content is blocked as well. So don't get depressed online. But if you get depressed elsewhere, you can't look for resources online. So don't get depressed. Don't even think about being depressed. This is a very helpful bill. Reproductive and sexual health information will also be hidden, of course. If mom, dad, or your health teacher don't give minors the information they need, they're going to have to embarrassingly ask the local librarian or nurse, or worse, their friends, also minors. Would you rather your teen ask Google about sex stuff or another 13-year-old boy? That's for the Attorney General to decide. Information on addiction and drugs will also be hidden. Hi, I'm 16. This is cocaine. You heard it's bad, but that's just a lie they tell you to save more cocaine for themselves. It's so good for you. Just Google it. Oh, you can't? Well, just trust me, bro. Now your child's on Ozempic, coked up, doing dangerous premarital sex, smoking cigars, and worst of all, reading the New York Times. It's not good. I think this bill is really scary because it's the government controlling access to information when we're supposed to have a free press.